There are people already playing these games and making assets and selling them for thousands of pounds. There are already people making video content and selling them for thousands of pounds.
We amassed our first million users within our first 15 days of launching the app, and we scaled to 4.5 million users within 60 days.
Acting isn't actually going to make you any money unless you come from a family of money or have a business.
What I mean by control is prices go up, the price of my speaking engagement goes up. When prices go up, the price of my clothing goes up. When prices go up, the price of my children's holiday club goes up. More effectively, when prices go up and my people are struggling, I can give jobs, give opportunities.
Now we're going on to all about Web3. So let's break this down one more time for the people. So Web 1 was when your internet used to go... Does anybody remember that? Put your hand up if you remember Web 1. Yeah? Good old AOL, good old Netscape, all of them there. Back a day, right? So you couldn't actually do that much with that internet, right? You could send emails, you could look at pictures, that was about it. Now Web 2 is where we are now. That is where the broadband's coming now. It's a little bit faster. We got things like Netflix, we got things like Call of Duty Online. We're able to actually do stuff and interact. That is Web 2. Now Web 3 is now about owning those things. So we've gone from reading, Web 1, to writing, which is Web 2. And now we're on to ownership, which is Web 3. So what does that encompass? That encompasses being able to own assets from what are created on the internet. So let's say, for example, if you are drawing a picture on the internet, you now own that picture instead of the platform that you watched it on owning or whatever. So if you create a video, let's say, for example, you upload something to TikTok, you upload something to YouTube, you don't own that content. The platform owns that content. Web 3 means you would own that content. In the gaming sense, it would mean that you're playing a computer game, you unlock a weapon, you build a land, you build a little wooden house or whatever you do on Roblox or Fortnite, but now you own it. And Web 3 is actually here right now. There are people already playing these games and making assets and selling them for thousands of pounds. There are already people making video content and selling them for thousands of pounds because of the power of Web 3. So without further ado, let's introduce our panelists. Cameron, I've had the absolute pleasure of meeting you previously. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for attending. My name is Cameron Modi Semple. I'm the co-founder of Legion Network and Blue Moon. For some context, Legion Network is a super app that brings the best of blockchain and Web3 into one central place. We launched January of 2020, and we were fortunate enough to amass our first million users within 15 days of launching.
Woo! Whoa. Pull up. Pull up. Say that again. Because I don't think you understand. Things in Web3 don't get 1 million users. They don't. They get 50,000, 10,000. Say that again, please.
Yes, so we amassed our first million users within our first 15 days of launching the app, and we scaled to 4.5 million users within 60 days. We have around 14 million registrations worldwide with an open rate of emails to date of 30 to 35%. And yeah, now we're looking to scale and go, really far with this next version of the app. So really excited. And the second business is Blue Moon. So Metaverse is a service company that pretty much brings communities together, builds immersive spaces for brands and businesses, and also provides in-depth metaverse analytics so that people can track their metrics and so that money's not just being thrown at anything. So that's pretty much us.
Nice. Tell them your name again so they know. Tell them your name one more time.
Cameron Modi Semple, grew up in Streatham and background Nigerian.
Make sure you remember that name. Make sure you remember. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yo, Keisha, don't know how we're going to follow that one up. Still, that was a bit weighty.
So my name's Keisha Rigg. I'm co-founder of Blockchain Sensei, along with Mike and Ninja, who's in the breakout room. I'm also founder of Air, which is AI, Web3, and robotics. So we're bridging emerging technologies and helping support founders within that space as well.
And then I'm the boring guy. You've heard of me before.
No, don't. So, Michael Harding, please, can you introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself as well, please?
So, my name is Michael Harding. My background originally was actually acting. Then I realized that, my tutor told me on the first lecture that acting isn't actually going to make you any money unless you come from a family of money or have a business. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, if this is going to be a hobby that maybe pays sometimes, let me do another hobby that I love, which is going out partying. I love partying. I love a little skank me. So I thought, you know what? Let me just start a little shubs and sell tickets for it. So I started that when I was 18. Luckily for me, that was in Manchester. Knew a couple of footballers. And then I saw that a lot of footballers footballers were getting released from clubs on Twitter, of all places. So they would go from having a pro contract of £5,000 a week, £20,000 a week at 16, 17, and then they would find out on Twitter or Sky Sports News, not even directly from the club, that they've been dropped and they've been released. And then what they would do is they wouldn't even go and get financial advice from someone like Emmanuel. They'd go out clubbing and drinking because of obviously the shock and the reality of what's happened to them. So that was when I was like, you know what? I want to really figure out and understand money. Now, luckily for me, at that point, my business partner, his family owned one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in Canada. And he said to me, look, I've been sent to university for a different reason. I've been sent to find my future employees, which I've found, and I've been sent to start businesses in a different country. And I was like, whoa, is that what the uber wealthy go to university for? He was like, yeah, that's the way that the game works. So he taught me about investing. He basically said, look, most of my family's wealth actually comes from stock that we have in our own company, other people's companies, and on the stock market. So I really dived into the stock market. Luckily for me, I was then working for a direct sales company, became number one in that, got flown out by a multi-billionaire. And this multi-billionaire's sitting there, literally just sitting in the lobby, right? And there's 10 others of us that have been flown out. And everyone else is like, yeah, I'm going to the casino. Yo, Mike's giving us this money. Let's go to the casino. I'm like, wait a minute. This guy's name's Mike. My name's Mike. This guy's a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire. Let me just go say, yo, happy birthday to this guy. So I'm just sitting down with this guy and he goes, look, I'm going to give you a list of 52 books to read. If you read these books, your life will change forever. I read these 52 books. He then let me know that he actually made early investments in Amazon. He then sold just before 2008 and then reinvested again at the bottom of the 2008 crash. And that's how he made his billions. So I then started reading these books, invested a little bit in Tesla. And then I'm at an event, because I'm still doing my events, and I'm talking to this guy at the bar and I'm telling him why I think Tesla is a great investment. This is 2017. Turns out this guy's actually a director of JP Morgan, and he's like, wow, you're really good at analyzing these stocks. Like, how do you know this stuff? How do you know to do this? And I'm like, I'm just hungry. I just like reading. He then goes to me, look, you need to go and check out this technology called blockchain. It's going to change the world. Some of the people in my company are using it. So that's how I knew the institutions were in it from 2017. And then I was just like, I discovered the technology and I was just completely blown away by what it meant for people, what it meant in terms of ownership for the people. And that's where it never ever stopped.
I just hold it there. Round of applause for that. No, because you know what it is? I want some people in the room, if not all of you, to actually understand how powerful the panel is. If not understand how powerful a lot of the panels that we put together in Black Tech Day have been. Because we don't get access to this knowledge. We don't get taught these type of words. We don't get taught this type of knowledge. We don't get exposed to these type of opportunities. And I know that, for instance, some of us in the crowd, it sounds like Chinese. But what I'm expressing is, one day it won't sound like Chinese. What I'm expressing is, these people are in front of you now. You're allowed to come up even now and just stop right now. Just come and ask them some questions. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put the right people in front of my community. I'm trying to put the right information in front of my community so we know how to stay safe, we know how to invest, and we know how to... Listen to this quickly. He said 52 books. Hold up your hand if you read 52 books in your life. Just be honest. Good adults in here, and I can look some of them in their face.
That's the next challenge.
Too. No, it's very true, because reading is powerful. So let's get back to the point of blockchain and ownership, because I've been teaching ownership for a very long time, and I know a lot of people don't understand it because conditioning. You know, I've always vouched for once you own it, you can control it. What I mean by control it is prices go up, the price of my speaking engagement goes up. When prices go up, the price of my clothing goes up. When prices go up, the price of my children's holiday club goes up. More effectively, when prices go up and my people are struggling, I can give jobs, give opportunities. So when we're talking about ownership, the problem I have with my own people is when we leave Web 2 to go to Web 3, they like, I don't care. Instagram owns your data. I don't care. They're selling your data. They're making money off your data. I don't care. So how do we get around, not people that don't care, majority of our community, how do we help them understand the importance of ownership and make them know that blockchain is the future because of that?
I'd say in terms of helping people understand ownership, the wealthiest people in the world, where they get their money from is ownership. They own land, they own properties, they own stocks. That's where it comes from. Because once you have ownership, you now can create passive incomes. If you don't have the ownership, you can't elevate yourself, because you need to have an asset, because an asset grows. And if an asset grows, you grow. And if you have an asset and your asset grows, your confidence grows, your self-esteem self-esteem grows, your overall mindset changes. And this is one of my favorite things to see at Blockchain Sensei. Even if we take someone and they've just invested £10, £5, £100, after a year, if that is now 100 and has gone up by 50%, right? Not even 100. They're not even doubled their money. Just a little bit. The way that people's confidence changes is incredible because it provides something that a lot of people in our community don't have. And that's hope that things are going to get better one day. A lot of the reason most of them are out on the roads is simply because they don't have hope that the world is going to get better. They don't have hope that they're going to be able to make more money. They don't have hope that they're going to be able to change their circumstances. They don't have hope that they're actually going to be able to buy their mama house. They don't have hope that one day they're going to be able to get the car, the watches that they want to get. So what do? They copy what they see other people around them do, and they copy what the media tells them is the way to get to that end result. But guess what? That isn't the way to get to the end result, because when you look at the people that have got those things, apart from the ones that are on the music videos, have they done those things? No, they haven't. So let's just stop lying. What they've done is they've acquired assets and got ownership. That's what we're lacking. We're not doing that. We're not chasing and telling our community, yo, fix up, let's get some assets. No matter how small they are, just get some, just own some, because it changes your mindset. Once you can wake up every single morning and you know what? I got a little 10 assets now, you know? I got one little stock of Apple. I got one little stock of Tesla. I got one little stock of Bitcoin. Not even the whole thing, just a little piece. Trust me, you'll wake up different. Trust me, every day, every week, it will feel different and people will feel it on you. You walk different, you talk different, you communicate different. When you're having a bad day at work, when you're having a bad day because the Uber driver's late or someone splashed you, you know what? You don't care. You just look at your assets. You're like, yo, I'm nice, you know. I'm not really bothered about this customer service still, you know, because things are moving. So that's why. All
right, thank you. You don't want to jump on the back of that as well?
I think, yeah, just to chime in off that, I think it's having control of your environment. And I think by tapping into these different ecosystems, I see it as owning parts of different ecosystems. And as you tap into them, you then have more control over your environment. I think that's very important as well.
I'll chime in and say that I think camaraderie amongst teams is required. I mean, with my team, there's 3 of us co-founders, and one thing that we've established really clearly is to play to our strengths. So, for example, advisory is something that's very common within the Web3 space, and people are very quick to offer advice to other companies starting up. But one thing that we do is, you know, if one of us are to advise for a company, we would negotiate stocks for all of us, and I may never speak to that company once. And similarly, if I'm going to speak to a company because maybe my background is more creatively driven, I'm going to deal with that company, but 50%, 60% is going to come back to our collective interest as a team. So this is something which I think is important that a lot of people in the space miss, where they think there's a sense of competition rather than collaboration. And that's something which I think, you know, in our community especially, is part of our downfall. So
I just want to add on that. One of the Blockchain Sensei mottos is there is no competition. We don't do competition. All we do is collaboration. If we see someone else in education, we're like, yo, we want to collaborate with you. We want to bring our audience to you. Because why? What we're competing over? It's a brand new field. It's a brand new floor. So what we're competing over? Just collaborate.
I can totally relate. I mean, this whole event, Black Tech Day, is a collaboration. Without my speakers, without my sponsors, without my supporters, I wouldn't have Black Tech Day. You know, I reached out to loads of companies, loads of obviously black businesses first. Didn't get that response that I wanted, but I pushed through. So group economics is definitely something that's lacking within our community. I definitely know that.